One of our followers asked us to debunk the idea that beer is healthy, but it turns out the science is actually on the side of hops. So let's talk about why beer might not be so bad for you. Now, first off, we should say that we are not doctors, and this video should in no way be taken as medical advice. Also, there is a difference between what scientists mean when they say something is healthy and what most people think when they hear that word. To scientists, healthy often means something that is good for you in small doses, but too much of it can actually be harmful. Beer falls into this category, but since we're here to have a good time, and not a hoity-toity time, we will focus on the ways that beer may be good for you in small doses. In fact, there was a study published in 2018 that found that moderate beer consumption may reduce the risk of heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. And the reason for this seems to come down to one specific part of the beer: hops. Hops are the flowers that give beer its bitter flavor, and they contain a lot of different chemical compounds, including something called xanthohumol has been shown to have a variety of health benefits, including reducing inflammation, helping with blood sugar control, and even potentially preventing certain types of cancer. And while it's true that these studies were done in petri dishes or on animals, there's still a lot of promise here. Another thing that hops contain is something called prebiotic fiber. This type of fiber acts as food for your probiotics, which are the good bacteria that live in your gut. We've talked about how important probiotics are in another video, but the quick version is that they help us break down food, produce vitamins, and even boost our immune systems. So by keeping our probiotics happy, we can keep ourselves happy and healthy. And hops may also help keep your brain healthy too. One study found that people who consumed more hops had higher levels of a certain type of brain chemical messenger called BDNF. Higher levels of this messenger are associated with improved memory and learning. Another study gave mice a choice between water and beer and found that the beer drinkers had better spatial memory than the non-beer drinkers. And yes, we know that studies that use mice drinking beer are fun to think about, but they do raise an important point. Beer contains alcohol, and alcohol is definitely not good for you, even in small doses. That being said, the parts of beer that don't contain alcohol, like the hops we've been talking about, might have some health benefits. So scientists are working on a way to bottle those benefits up without all the alcohol. In 2021, researchers found that they could make beer without alcohol that still had most of the beneficial compounds, including and then in 2022, they found that they could take those beneficial compounds and turn them into pills. Now, it's still early in the research process, so you won't be seeing any of these hop-based medicines at your local pharmacy anytime soon. But it does seem promising for anyone who wants to reap the potential benefits of hops without the side effects of alcohol. Speaking of which, alcohol has a lot of negative effects on our body. One of those is that it interrupts our sleep cycles, but there is a way to get a good night's sleep, even if you are drinking beer. Want to know more about that? Well, then you'll just have to wait until next week's video. And thanks for watching.